Good evening and welcome to the February edition of Getting Around. I'm recording this on the evening of President's Day. Tomorrow is Fostok Day for those of us of Pennsylvania German heritage, and Mardi Gras, I guess, for the rest of you. But running a little bit later this month than normal, mainly because my only gainful employment at the moment is I do taxes during tax season. And when I first started doing taxes, I always thought the busy time was April, but no, it's actually early February after the W-2s hit in January, and everybody wants their money back now. In any case, the only item I have really for the rest of February is something I talked about last month, but so I'll start off with that. Let's get to it. That is that next weekend, which is to say the 25th of February, is the third annual Ohio Memorial Classic. Incidentally, you got to pardon me for looking away like this, but hey, I don't own a teleprompter. But in any event, as I say, that's in Mason, Ohio, which is just northeast of Cincinnati, and looks like it's going to be a fairly good one. This is for charitable for research for cancer research, and has quite a bit going for it. They have amateured, pro, women's divisions, masters in that case being 50 plus. Kids and women, by the way, are only right arm. Kids are being defined in this case up to age 17. They are going to ask for a donation of $5 at the door for spectators because, as I say, that's going towards a charitable event. Otherwise, quite inexpensive, $20 per arm, $15 per arm for the kids. As I say, that's next week on the 25th. Talked about that a little bit earlier. Week after that, don't know of anything much. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm hearing from a lot of the chats I'm on and practices I go to is that people are even shutting down their practices in the next week or so because they're getting ready for the Winter Blast, which is going to take place in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, which is the northern suburbs of Philadelphia, on the 11th of March. This is going to be one of the biggest ones of the year, was last year. In fact, last year, we had 189 individual pullers, and by my count, 436 entries. It's going to be most likely bigger than that this year. And as a result of that, we had to move out of the place we were at last year, which really probably wouldn't have been big enough. So we are at the Sheraton Bucks County Langhorne, which is just up the road from Sesame Place, for those of you who have kids and possibly might know where that is. But that will be, like I say, a really big one. You don't want to miss it. In fact, just to show how big that's going to be, I've actually just reserved my room for that night at the Sheraton. We have a really good rate for that, $136 plus tax, which is darn good for the Sheraton Langhorne. And just goes to show, because, hey, I only live an hour and a half away and I'm excessively cheap, but I'm going to get down there, basically stay down that evening. We will have weigh-ins the night before, both at the venue and at numerous other locations. I know I'm doing them in Allentown at the Team Predator practice site. They're going to be doing it out in the Harrisburg area as well, and several others as well, possibly one on Long Island. I'm not absolutely certain, but information will come out on that as we get somewhat closer to that. What we will have there is the full gamut of classes, starting with novice, two classes actually of two weight classes at novice, amateur and pro. We'll both have 6 weight classes, semi-pro. For women, we will have both the amateur women and pro women. And as I recall, let's see, pro women is, yes, 4 weight classes there, 2 weight classes of amateur women, and both masters and grandmasters. Masters in this case starting at 49, grandmasters starting at 59, and both of those will have 3 weight classes. Cost for that, $40 for the first arm, $30 everything thereafter. And we will be running, last year we ran 3 tables pretty much for the entire event, and a 4th table from time to time. And I would imagine we're going to be doing at least the same this year, because, as I say, that is going to be a really big one. The awards are going to, among others, have the dragons that were so popular last year. We think we're probably going to stick with the Dragons for Winter Blast from now on, in much the same way as some other tournaments stick with the same type of trophy, such as the Gorillas out at the Michigan States. So, as I say, that will be on the 11th of March, and you basically don't want to miss that one. A week after that, on the 18th of March, kind of interesting here, there will be another tournament in Ohio, in the Cincinnati area. 3 weeks after the one I previously mentioned, will be the Tri-State Championships. That will be in suburban Cincinnati as well. Given the geography, I presume the 3 states are mentioning are Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. But as I say, that's really only about 9.5 miles away from the site of the previous one 3 weeks earlier. So, hey, if you missed the earlier one in Cincinnati, you can hit this one or hit them both. Also reasonably inexpensive, $20 per arm. They're going to have some cash payouts at that one. Specifically, first place in the pro divisions will get, the pro weight classes will get $50, and there will be an overall $150 prize for both the overall left hand and the overall right hand as well. And there they will have, let's see, 3 classes of amateur, 3 of women, 3 of the kids, and 5 pro classes at that one. And so, say the Tri-State Championships in that case in a hotel on the 18th of March. Week after that, 25th of March, is the Trojan Wars in Erie, Pennsylvania. I will be going to that one. I won't make the 2 Ohio ones. Basically, they're about 8.5 hours for me, which is, hey, with my record, is a little bit far for me to go to lose. Well, actually, it's pretty far to go for me anyway. But so I will, however, get to Trojan Wars in Erie. Candidly, I have not seen an event sheet for that yet. So I really don't know. Can't give you any really great details on that, but I'm sure that will come out in the near future. I have been to those before, and very well run, and fun time there in Erie on the 25th of March. And I will mention one more item. I'll probably revisit this next month as well. But the Maine State Championships are taking place on April Fool's Day, the 1st of April, in Bangor, Maine, which we would say Bangor here in Pennsylvania, but I'm told it's pronounced Bangor. That's $25 per arm, $15 for the kids. I was curious enough to look up what the weather is normally like in Bangor in late March, early May, and it looks like the somewhere in the mid to upper 40s during the day. So hopefully by that time the snow melt will be well on its way up there. That is sponsored by the Twin City Pullers and by G-Force Entertainment. G-Force is the location of it. That's also where the Twin City Pullers hold their regular practices. So the 2 sponsors, it's pretty much being, well, I shouldn't say being run. I mean, got lots of help, but hey, there's seems like half the people running things in Maine are named Farron. Great family up there that is very active in keeping that organization going. And I think we'll probably see them at the Winter Blast. They usually do make it down from Maine. But there they will have cash as well for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place pro. And have the numerous divisions, men's, novice, amateur, semi-pro, pro, kids up to age 12, and then teens up to, I think it was 19. I kind of had to kind of smile because they're kids. They have 3 weight classes in kids, and what they were calling super heavyweight was kids above 83 pounds. That's up to age 12 years old. And I was at a tournament last year. It was the 4th of July tournament where we had one of the kids pulling there who was 12 years old and weighed 160. So I won't name him, but couldn't find anybody to pull him his weight class and his size. So he basically pulled some teenage girls who were on Bill Runkle's softball team. And well, hey, why not name it? It was Mike Runkle's son, Mike Jr. And so Mike did quite well with his 160 pounds at age 12. So at any event, they will be, like I say, having all those classes, women and both amateur and pro, masters, both Masters 49 plus, Grandmasters 59 plus, and that's pretty much, like I say, I'll revisit that next month, but that is on the 1st of April. Besides the ones I've talked about tonight, there are a much longer list on the down below, as we always attach the list of upcoming events. There are actually 21 more events on the list, other than those I mentioned tonight, which are going to stretch from, early April, mid-April through November. 21 more items. I probably will get to at least a third of them. The only reason I'm not getting to more of that is as we get into the spring and summer, we're going to start doubling up again. And 5 of the dates on which events are taking place have either 2 or 3 events taking place the same day. So things are starting to warm up again, not only climate-wise, but also getting a little bit warmer with the number of events, kind of crowding in on each other again. So I hope to see you at a good number of them. And particularly, once again, if you don't make the Winter Blast, you are really going to kick yourself. We have people coming from, not all over the country, but we have some folks coming down from Canada. Evan Burgoyne, among others, is coming down to take on our own Roger Learned from the 98. And that should be an interesting one in and of itself. So I hope to see you at a lot of those. Hope to see you at Winter Blast, and have a good February.